Hello everyone and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. We're getting to play as Mia, which is pretty cool. We're in the past. And apparently her and this witness have a history together, so I'm curious to see how that's gonna play out. Madam, I'm no one's grandma yet, girly. Oh, I thought she said Madam Faye. I was thinking from, like, her time in Kurain Village. Because I thought that she was, like, a spirit medium. Or, I mean, she is a spirit medium. But I thought that's where that was going. Okay, what I witnessed. I had been planning... I read all this already. Now, unless I'm mistaken, Mr. Wright is in the art department? If that's the case, then what were you doing by the pharmacology building? Well, I'm in the literature department. I'm studying Japanese senryu poetry.
Oh, how wonderful. Isn't that humor? It's that humorous, it's satirical style of haiku, yes?
Nothing left to do. When a man reaches this age, sleep is his best friend.
It's supposed to be poetry? Sounds more like a midlife crisis.
For me to get to the art department, I have to walk through that back area.
Ah, yes, I see. That makes sense. When I want to enter the courthouse, I always walk through the front doors.
How else would you enter? Teleportation? I just assumed the judge lived here.
So who is this Dougie person? Oh, I'm sorry, Doug Swallow. You were dating until about 8 months ago. So what were Mr. Swallow and Mr. Wright talking about anyway? How can you be so mean? I would never eavesdrop. I wasn't raised to be so rude and unrefined.
That's right, Miss Faye.
Don't drag the witness down to your level.
Judge, why am I being demonized here?
Please go on. What did you see next?
Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own? Yes. In other words, the defendant never touched the victim, is that right? I was watching the whole time. Feeny never did a thing to Dougie.
If I press her for no good reason, I just know the judge will get angry with me. So what should I do about her testimony just now? Show the contradiction? Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne, so let's drop them, shall we? Oh.
What? I would never.
Miss Faye, I will not allow you to badger this witness. I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting... that stare. That death stare. Yeah, please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job.
Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did, in fact, push the victim. What? There's no need to try to cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth.
There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything that you saw.
Yes, Your Honor, I will. If you don't mind, I'd like to revise my testimony.
Looks like we're finally getting somewhere.
Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie.
Seems impossible. You didn't see it.
Well, I saw the moment when Dougie fell to the ground.
And at that time, there was only the two of them at the scene? The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and the victim, Doug Swallow?
Yes, that's right.
Unusual. That seems wrong.
So then what did it look like they were doing to you? I thought they were having a nice friendly afternoon conversation.
Oh, give me a break.
That's why I really wasn't watching them all that closely.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all?
No, nothing at all, Mr. Judge.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Mr. Judge. Now then, please proceed with your testimony.
When you say students, do you mean students from the pharmacology department? Yes, they're all very fond of their drugs. Please try to stay on topic. So to find some pharmacology students, you went to the labs, correct? That's what I was planning to do, but in the end I wound up not going. A group of about 10 research students came running out of the building entrance. Somehow they all seemed to know what was going on. The students knew what was going on? I want to press that. But how could the students have known what was going on? Well, I don't know for sure that they knew what had happened. It's just that they all seemed kind of excited about something. Doesn't look like I'm going to get any more info about the students. So the students call the police? Yes, I was so panicked.
Yes, well, anyone would have been, my dear.
That girl, she's telling a super obvious lie and she knows it. She's just pretending to protect Mr. Wright. Yes, that's gotta be it. Way to go, Mia. Okay, that means I'm going to have to dig deep to find the contradiction on this one. Okay, so what else do we have? What evidence do we have? We got a bunch of new stuff. I'm assuming... Oh, can I read this? Yes! Murder in the courthouse. Very little information is being disclosed at this time since the victim of yesterday's incident is in the district courthouse cafeteria is said to have been a lawyer. However, police are questioning the 19-year-old female college student who was sitting with the victim. Oh. Go to the profiles. 20. So shoot, that was... Okay. Questioning the 19-year-old college student who was sitting with the victim. Alright, I have some ideas about where this was going. There's a lot. Oh, hold on. Okay. I think I have this. Feeny and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. Okay. It didn't look like they were fighting, and I didn't hear. Aha! Gotcha. You say you didn't hear anything unusual. Is that correct? Yes, that's why I was very relaxed looking at the scenery around me. I love the hair flip. That's nice, but I find it just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright, and he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise. He said that. If you were really that close to the two of them, why didn't you hear this noise as well? Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable. But according to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression. May I have a moment to answer?
By all means.
I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on and I was listening to music at that time.
Headphones? You mean that both of your ears were covered?
The rain was just beginning to let up, and it seemed as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end yet. So the sky continued to flash and rumble. Thunder and lightning, huh? Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of thunder. So I put on my headphones to block it out.
Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there weren't any contradictions in her testimony after all. Wait a sec. Mia, that testimony just now, she said something that could totally change this whole case. She didn't hear anything. She was listening to music. No. Wait. No. There was lightning.
But then what?
So it's lightning. That matters. That's it. Whoa, the plot thickens.
Your Honor, there is a problem with the witness's testimony.
What do you mean?
Didn't you notice? She said there was lightning, correct?
Yes, what about it?
Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere, am I right?
Now's not the time for a science lesson, Miss Fay.
Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, isn't it possible the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning?
I must admit that the thought had not occurred to me.
Just what kind of thoughts do occur to this guy anyway?
This entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Doug Swallow was murdered. But that very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was, in fact, the victim of a stray bolt.
There should be a way to tell.
It appears the defense may be onto something. Could it be that the death was actually accidental?
All right, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking that not guilty now if you don't... Why? Never give him that opening. I'm hurt that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Fay. Huh? Not a fool, you know. The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. We found that there were no lightning strikes on that day at that location.
What?
What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cable is definitely linked to the case.
Evidence, Mr. Payne? Well, what is this evidence?
This affidavit.
And who is this affidavit from?
The pharmacology students who were conducting experiments in their labs that day. So we're gonna find out what time the power outage was. Allow me to read out to the court the testimony of the pharmacology students. All equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden at around 3 p.m. that day.
Was it a blackout?
All the lab's equipment runs on high voltage, Your Honor.
So you're saying the equipment lost power because...
Precisely. They lost power because of a severed electrical cable. The power outage occurred at approximately 3 p.m.
Which fits with the time of death listed in the autopsy report.
Exactly. In other words, the victim died as a result of touching the severed electrical cable. According to the students, the cables were very old. They were planning on having them replaced in the near future.
I see.
Apparently the cables had become so brittle that even the smallest bump would have caused them to break. What? How do you know that they are so brittle that they'll break with the slightest touch and not replace them? The old power cable broke due to some sort of impact on 4/9 at 2:55 p.m.
However, there is one thing that troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any small bump, then it wouldn't have snapped if it had been bumped into. Correct?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
Miss Fay, do you have any thoughts regarding the cause of the severed cable?
Your Honor?
Don't like how this is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to try to regain some momentum.
If it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion.
Well then, let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break?
Take a look at this picture. Yep, that's what I was afraid of. So, alright, here's where I'm leaning with this. Is Phoenix shoves him. He hits the pole. causes the wire to fall down. This doesn't look good for us. That's what it has to be, though.
Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony.
The defendant's testimony?
He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened at around 3 p.m., correct?
Yes, that sounds about right. Wait, are you saying that...
The lab equipment lost power at 2:55 p.m., which fits right into Mr. Wright's timeline. In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage.
Yes, the prosecution also came to that same conclusion. And it was that very shove that caused Mr. Swallow to be electrocuted. Nope.
I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne.
Well, what's that supposed to mean?
Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See the umbrella? It's by the electrical pole. That's right, the victim banged into that pole as a result of being pushed. It was that impact that caused the cable to break.
Well, that makes sense. And then the victim was electrocuted.
Nope.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no, it doesn't make sense at all. If the victim was shoved into the far pole, then he couldn't have been electrocuted by the severed cable in the foreground here. In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim.
Order in the courts.
Ah, the lamentations of my enemy. How I've longed to hear them.
It is true, the defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant...
I don't know why the text went by so fast.
Mr. Judge, sir, may I say something? The Madam Attorney's explanation. She said some things that are a little different than I remember them.
What the?
Please, just one more. May I please testify one last time? Please, Mr. Judge?
Of course, it's all right. Just go right ahead and give your new testimony.
This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors.
The truth is, Feeney pushed him twice. The first was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. Then Dougie tried his best to run away from him, but Feeney caught up and crashed into him from behind.
Nope.
The cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted, it all occurred in less than a minute.
Nope.
So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away.
And that's when the defendant pushed him for the second time.
I'm so sorry, Feeney, but I just have to tell the truth. I'm doing the right thing. Am I doing the right thing? Am I, Mr. Judge?
Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Fay, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Oh my god, there's so many holes in that testimony. I don't even know where to start. Feeney pushed him twice. Alright, let's just...
Miss Hawthorne, previously in your testimony you said the following. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. I know, I'm sorry. I wanted to protect Feeney. So that's why you basically lied to the court. I was a bad girl, I know. Mr. Judge?
Yes?
Would you please forgive little old me?
Of course he won't. What you did...
Oh, come now. It was just a little old white lie.
That completely changes this case.
We'll forget it this time, but please be more careful from now on, alright?
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Judge.
Not at all.
Judge had better be more careful himself. A dark alley is friendlier than that girl.
You're saying you actually saw the victim get pushed into the electrical pole? I know he doesn't look it, but Feeney can be a bit of an imp when he wants to be.
Oh, really?
But I never imagined that he would cause an electrical cable to break. Feeny really is scary when he gets mad.
Yes, he sounds like a very dangerous individual indeed.
Oh, the judge of this case is killing me. He tried his best to run away from him.
So let me get this straight. You're happily listening to music on your headphones while you watch the scene unfold?
Miss Faye, I'll have to ask you to stop badgering the witness.
I wasn't happy. I was so scared I couldn't even move. All I could do is stand there and cheer them on.
Cheer them on? What do you mean by that?
Well, I wish the best for both of them. They would each give the fight their all.
What?
That's very sweet of you to be so supportive.
And what happened after that?
That doesn't sound quite right. There were handprints found on the chest of the victim's leather jacket. Mr. Payne, were there also prints on the back of his leather jacket?
Well, no, there weren't.
Madam Faye, may I suggest you listen a little more carefully? I said that he crashed into him from behind, right? My Feeny wouldn't leave any prints in that case, would he?
All occurred in less than a minute. I can beat that.
Did you actually witness the moment the victim was electrocuted? I'm sorry, I didn't actually see it. I turned my eyes away.
That's understandable.
Yes, indeed, it would have been a horrific sight for anyone to behold.
I don't figure out the contradiction here. It's all over. She didn't have much time to come up with her lie, so this is my best chance. There must be a hole in her testimony somewhere. Think, Mia. Truth is, Feeny pushed him twice. Feeny caught up and crashed into him from behind. Alright. Snapping. It all occurred. Alright, so here were a couple things I saw wrong with that. Oh, it's not in this picture. It was in this one. Remember, I saw the clock and I was like, oh no, it was like 3:05 when that happened. Is that it? I just wanna real quick go through the evidence. Covered in Wright's fingerprints. Okay, that's not weird. I mean, it's weird. Owned by the victim, found broken near the electrical pole. The crime scene. Victim fell on top of his umbrella. There's a loud sound when this happened. At 2:55. So there's no way that could have been within a minute.
That's enough, witness. I'm afraid I don't understand.
You will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture?
Oh, that medicine. That's the one Feeny likes to take for his cold.
It's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch.
It stopped at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05 p.m.
Yes, and your point is, Miss Faye?
My point is this. What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage due to the cable snapping?
Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55 p.m. Yeah!
Would you care to explain that to the court, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? What exactly happened during this 10-minute interval? The defense proposes that it was during this interval that the real murderer killed Mr. Doug Swallow.
Order in the court.
This is nonsense. The real murderer?
Even you can't deny that the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for.
And then who was it? Who else are you saying could have done it?
There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow, only after my client had left the scene. Was there a window of opportunity for the real killer?
Miss Faye, is the defense ready to indict someone as this real killer?
This is the moment I've been waiting for.
Yes, Your Honor, we're ready.
Very well, but remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Fay. Now then, Miss Fay, let's have it. Who is the real killer? Oh, come on, this is...
We only have so many profiles, and he didn't kill himself. I'm sad we don't have our own profile. Let's do it.
It could only have been you, Dahlia Hawthorne. What? How can you?
And the defense is grasping at straws.
10 minutes passed between the time the cable broke and the time of the electrocution. What exactly were you doing that whole time, Miss Hawthorne? Were you really listening to some music while cheering them both on as they fought? I find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to stop the men dearest to you.
Order, Miss Fay. Why, that is to say...
Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on that day. However, after Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very own hands.
Oh, she's coming apart.
How can you say something so mean, Madam Fay? I didn't do anything.
Miss Fay, this is a very serious charge. You are...
Your Honor, but please, I have something I want to say. Phew.
What is it?
Please strike everything the defense said just now from the record. What the? Are you daft? You're totally wrong, Miss Fay. Dolly, she couldn't do something like that.
Mr. Wright, get it back in your seat. Bailiff, grab that man.
Ugh. Choo, choo. Leave my Dolly alone. Choo. That boy. He's gotten himself in way over his head.
Oh, Mr. Grossberg, you're back.
Seems I've arrived just in the nick of time. I found the police report on that incident in your newspaper clipping. Sweet.
Thank you so much. This is exactly what I was hoping for.
You'd better take a good look at it. It details how you came to lose your boyfriend. Oh.
Now then, the defense has made a very serious accusation. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Oh, well, really, Your Honor. We'll just have to deal with that interruption in the next episode. I don't know how long this kind of tutorial... Actually, it really hasn't been much of a tutorial, and I wonder if that's because I was like, yeah, no, I know what I'm doing early on. Which has been nice. I thought they paced this really well. I was always kind of worried about that, because I feel like you need that tutorial for people who maybe weren't able to play the first couple games. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, no, I've been here before. So I thought they did A+ with that. This whole trial has been really interesting. I'm enjoying it so far. Like I said, this game is off to a very, very strong start. Let me know how you guys are feeling about it. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.